It's a teacher voice.
Cool. Yeah. Perfect.
No
Go
worries.
for it.
Alright, so thanks for taking the time with us. Means a lot as fans.
My pleasure.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you. So, first question, how did your passion for music come about?
I was doing a lot of creative writing from a really young age, and so everything kind of stemmed from that. And I didn't really jump into music until I'd finished school, at which point I picked up a guitar, and that was 2011. And it's just a form of writing, so it went from creative writing to creative writing within music.
Would you say you missed out on anything from that perspective?
I feel like I've had to learn really quickly and had to so often be put much beyond my comfort zone, and that was kind of the way I learnt, and that's the way I excelled quickly. So I think I certainly miss out on a lot when it comes to knowing how to work sound gear, or perhaps being able to learn other people's songs, but I don't feel like it's inhibited me in the way of actually songwriting and doing my own stuff.
You were homeschooled until year 10, is that right, as well?
Yeah, I didn't see it inside a classroom until I was 13 years old.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it looked like. I had an idea from like movies and stuff, but and then I went to this really big public school in Queensland, like the biggest public school in Queensland, and graduated there. And I was thinking of going to uni, but deferred, and I guess I haven't gone back yet.
Has this really impacted or inspired the music you produce and create today and make?
For sure, I think being homeschooled hasn't entirely influenced the music, but it influenced the values behind the music. Yeah, and so I think I have a huge value set in healthy living, and I think in healthy environments.
With being homeschooled, is there any socially aspects you think you've missed, or you seem confident on stage?
I definitely am glad I went to school when I did, because that was a really it was very, very strange. I'm glad I could see both sides of the glass, and some homeschoolers are homeschooled from the very start, and their parents might only let them hang out with homeschoolers, which is not the point. We just homeschooled because we liked being a family, and I was surfing and skating and doing martial arts, and so I don't think I missed out on anything prior to year 10. I think it would have probably been a detriment.
But you've covered quite a few Ben Howard songs too. Me and Dill love Only Love and Wolves and songs like that. Just an amazing artist. Would you say he's one of your biggest influences on your music?
I think I'd say he's been my biggest influence on my music since 2013.
Yeah.
For sure, yeah, because prior to that, and what you'd probably notice, it feels like Home Capacitor Made of Water. I actually listened to a lot of this rap group, probably my favourite artist. They're called Horror Show, and they're from inner West Sydney, and they're these really great songwriters. And so my songwriting, I didn't have a single big influence up until Ben Howard. And I'd say for sure, I definitely admire his honesty in his songwriting, and he made me kind of feel things in a way that I didn't think you could play music like that. I wasn't aware in that way, and so then to hear someone playing like that was really cool. I think one big difference that I'm trying to do from Ben Howard, and that's with all due respect, is I'm trying to write really positive songs, not overly happy songs, just positive music.
Your Feels Like Home 6-track EP, is there any tracks on that? I know it was made about 3 years ago. Is there any tracks on that you'd like to bring out and perform live now?
Yeah, so funny you say that. I re-released Gone on Land and Sea, which was just released in December 2014. And Gone was a song that I wrote in like an afternoon or two kind of thing back in September 2011. There's a lot of songs on Feels Like Home that I wrote out of youth, and I think that I have a lot of purpose in what I'm trying to write about now. But Gone's a really classic song that I still bring out a lot, and had to re-release on Land and Sea because I think for so many different people it's still a relevant song. And it was a song that so many people listen to, and it's a song I've played in every different part of the world that I've gone and played music in. I've played Gone, so it's kind of a very nostalgic but present song.
I got to ask you something. So the Warm Coffee story is probably mine and Paddy's one of our favourite. Do you care to take us deeper into that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's I wrote that song, and it was October 2013, and I was living in Byron Bay at the time. I wasn't living out of my car. I just moved there, and I was there getting groceries one morning at this market on a Thursday, and I went to the market, and there was just this girl, and she had long auburn hair, and she was like really fair and she had really cute freckles, and she was wearing this long lace white dress, and it was I was just so nervous, but I had to talk to her, and I was by myself, and I was like barefoot. I had a shaved head at the time. It was like a dirty white t-shirt. It's just like I was just like disgusting. 7 o'clock in the morning, and I walked past her a bunch of times. I was just like so nervous, but I just had to talk to her, and I just went up to her, and I was like, "You're freaking beautiful," and she just giggled and laughed and said thank you, and I just wished her a good day, and it was the only time, the first time really was like she was going to be involved in my life. Like I just knew that she was like we were going to be together, and that was like really strange. And so that's why I didn't want to test it, but I was just kind of, I think I was just more happy to let that happen. And so then it was about a month or 2 later that we actually, had our first date that a friend like set us up on, because I didn't know who she was at all. And I saw her with a really good friend of mine, fellow musician, songstress, and I was like, oh my god, that's that girl. And yeah, so I wrote that song, and I think it was kind of what also ruined the relationship in the end, was placing such high expectations on her. I just saw the best of everything that she did, and like even from the first moment I met her, it was like it was the fate of it. I think the weight of like the way that all happened, and the fate that we're gonna be together, kind of, I just saw the best of everything and not necessarily the reality of everything. The best over the reality, and that's been a big learning, is trying to see people as neutral. But that's positivity. You want to like see the best in people to bring out the best in people.
Yeah.
But sometimes I feel like maybe you've got to see things from a neutral and then be pleasantly surprised, or be even more happy that someone's better than neutral.
Hey, what's next for Ziggy Alberts?
Really looking forward to patting some dogs. Really excited to see some good dogs on the street when I go back to Byron. Some really nice dogs. Now I'm going from here I'm going to drive north, and I'll probably play 3 or 4 shows this week, just house shows, because it's such late notice. And then I'm going to get, really surprisingly, I'm going to go to Europe next week. But Monday next week I'll be on a plane to Germany and play a couple of shows and visit some family over there, to try and, I guess, unwind a bit.
Yep.
And spend a bit of quality time with the fam and play a couple of low-key shows in Europe. And then come back for a week of shows just on the north coast in Queensland, and then play Splendour, and I guess start touring back to Victoria again in August. I feel like it's all just going to be taking it's going to take time, and it's going to take a lot of touring and a lot of hard work, and that's the only honest way about it. So I think I'll probably just keep touring this year, keep touring, keep playing more shows, do a couple more overseas stuff, maybe go back to Europe later on in the year, then maybe do a small EP at the end of the year. I'd really love to do just a small 4 or 5 track EP at the end of the year. Might be a bit much for people, but I'm not sure. That would be my personal plan.
Yep. We wish you all the best with that, and thank you again
Thanks,
for taking
Heath.
the time.
Joining
Thank
us.
you very much, eh?
Thanks, Heath.
Pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.